Ain't no war on black women's weight. If you want to see a war on somebody's weight, go over to some of these other races and see how strict their men are when it comes to weight.
And I think a lot of what we see with a black woman's weight physically is a manifestation of the weight that black women carry mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially.
A lot of y'all suffering come from the fact that you think that the journey is supposed to be easy. Life is supposed to be easy for you because you too busy idolizing in comparison.
But can we call a spade a spade? Y'all care about thinness more than you care about health.
All right, guys, can we stop pretending like the media doesn't lie to us all the time? Like they literally lie for a living and then send out their little minions, their influencers, their role models to convince us to believe the lie too. They will tell you that being fat is empowering, that it's brave, it's beautiful, it's revolutionary. And then those same people will run straight to the gym, the surgery table, or the Weight Watchers check-in when nobody is looking. This is not body positivity. It is a big, fat, heavy on the fat lie, okay? Wrapped in pretty talk and delusional slogans. We're going to talk about this fake confidence culture that has been forced and fed to black women, mostly by other black women who no longer even live the lifestyle they promote. Lizzo told you to love her size while allegedly getting surgery and working out. Look at her now. She is slimming down and she looks great. By the way, I'm not trying to shame her. Monique was one of the earlier perpetrators of this. She used to fight for big girls everywhere and then quietly slimmed down. Jennifer Hudson was fat and fabulous until she became the Weight Watchers poster child. Now she's slim, polished, like it never happened. So what does that tell you? It tells you what we already know, that even the ones shouting the loudest about being proud of being obese don't actually believe that nonsense themselves. And to be clear, this isn't about body shaming. It's about telling the truth, because now there's a trend going around on TikTok, videos of people claiming the world is attacking black women for their weight. They're calling it a war, but the real war is on common sense, accountability, and honest standards. We're going to react to a few of these TikToks, and we're going to break down the real statistics between black women and black men when it comes to obesity. We're going to get to the bottom of why this narrative is being pushed so hard and why telling the truth is suddenly so offensive. Because if being fat is so empowering, why are the queens of the movement all quietly trying to lose weight? Welcome back to the channel, guys. I am Carmen, Jaycee. Make sure you guys hit the like button and let's get into it. All right, so obviously, if you talk about black women's weight, they are not going to be happy. That's just a fact. But to be fair, I don't think the person who started this trend was coming from a hateful place. I don't think they were saying that black women don't look good. I think they were trying to talk about health, about mindset and delusion, and the way that dysfunction is now defended like it is a personality trait. And to prove their point, I brought a few receipts. Let's go ahead and take a look at one of the videos that popped up in response. Take a listen.
Tapping into the conversation about black women's weight. And I think a lot of what we see with a black woman's weight physically is a manifestation of the weight that black women carry mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and it shows up in their outward physical appearance. Always putting others first, the family, the career, the husband, the children, and them focusing on their health being the last thing on their list because they're too tired or they just don't have time. Now, as a black woman who works out 5 days a week, I run several miles a day, a week. I do Pilates. I believe in working out. I absolutely believe that it's imperative that black women work out. And I'm not a professional, but that's just my tidbit on what we're seeing in terms of black women's weight. And this is a Black Woman Stand account.
And let's be clear, the reason why these women are overweight isn't because they're too busy caring for everybody else. It's because they eat too much, period. It's the greasy food, the overseasoned plates, the emotional eating, the constant snacking, not some deep-rooted trauma or lack of access. They have access. They just don't have discipline. And until black women decide to take accountability and change what's going into their mouths, nothing is going to change. Now, I'm not saying that this is all black women, but let's not pretend that that clip reflects reality, because it doesn't. It's delusional, and I am not letting that fly. Let's go ahead and look at the next clip. And spoiler, this is just as bad. Take a listen.
Let's be clear. A lot of the conversations surrounding black women and their health, about how majority of black women tend to be overweight, and how the conversation needs to be had about black women taking their health seriously. I just want to state something. I wish the conversation was actually about health, but it's not. It's about thinness. If the conversation was only about health, a lot more black women would be more receptive to the conversation. But can we call a spade a spade? Y'all care about thinness more than you care about health. Instead of focusing on the size of our bodies, how about we focus on the quality of our food, the quality of our neighborhood and the access to good, nutritious food, the quality of our mental health. But no, you just care about if her body's big. That's all you really care about. And history will show you that our bodies are not going to fit in the category to European standards to thinness. So I wish you guys would really change the conversation surrounding Black women and their bodies, especially Black men talking about Black women and their bodies. It's extremely frustrating listening to you guys. Why are we held as such standards? And some of y'all are not even qualified to have these type of discussions to begin with. There's no nuance in your conversations.
So many things are wrong here, but let's start with the obvious. I hate to be the one to break it to you, girlfriend, but this is not about beauty standards. It is about survival. Black women lead the country in obesity. That is not an insult. It is a fact. And we all know that heart disease is the #1 killer in the US, and it is tied directly to obesity. And let's not forget, y'all turned obesity into a movement, posted it, flaunted it, labeled it as self-love. But now that people respond, suddenly it's hate. No. You made it public, the public responded. Nobody is saying that you can't love yourself, but real self-love means seeing a problem and fixing it. Not blaming a white woman, not crying about beauty standards, and definitely not pretending dysfunction is empowerment. And yes, Black men absolutely have a right to speak on Black women's weight because they're the ones dating you, marrying you, raising kids with you. But Black women don't want to be corrected, don't want accountability, and don't want truth unless it comes with praise. The behavior is bad, the excuses are played out, and quite frankly, Black women are going to be the ones who suffer, and their children. Let's take a look at the next clip.
This whole conversation centered around Black women's weight and the excuses that they make. Oh, I done had 2 kids. I went through college. I work 5 days a week. I work 40 hours a week. I be going through stuff and those excuses that y'all being met with. And if I'm not mistaken, a Black woman started this conversation. Them excuses y'all met with should be a microcosm into seeing the lack of accountability that Black men have to deal with in relationship dynamics and discourses. A lot of people think, a lot of y'all suffering come from the fact that you think that the journey is supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be, life is supposed to be easy for you because you too busy idolizing and comparing your life to other people who just posting their highlights. They ain't posting the lowlights. A lot of y'all are easy to trick and easy to trick into the wrong shit, basically. You run away from positivity, which is why your weight is so big. You don't want to be accountable for anything that don't feel good. You don't want it.
Heavy on the if it don't feel good, they don't want it, because these girls want results, but not the discipline. And this is exactly what Black men are dealing with. Women who think that life is supposed to be a highlight reel. They believe that someone is supposed to love them no matter what, even if they're obese, unaccountable, and emotionally immature. Meanwhile, they haven't done a damn thing to earn it. No sacrifices, no submission, no consistency, just delusion vibes, and a race trainer. Amazing. These women want microwave results, quick and instant. When it doesn't happen, they throw tantrums, start blaming the patriarchy, start screaming about toxic masculinity, anything but looking in the mirror. It's the most obvious thing. They don't want to become the kind of woman that life actually requires. So instead, they gaslight you, they lie, they shame you for having standards. And they're going to say you're the problem because they're obese and they refuse to work out and they don't want to be accountable. It's not just delusional, it is manipulative, and quite frankly, Black men are exhausted, and I do not blame them. Let's take a listen to this next young lady, and this lady actually gets it. Take a listen.
Ain't no war on Black women's weight. If you want to see a war on somebody's weight, go over to some of these other races and see how strict their men are when it comes to weight. A lot of these other communities, the women know to keep their bodies under control and keep their weight under control because they men don't play. Black men have given grace for a long time when it comes to addressing Black women's weight. They just now really coming out and talking about how dissatisfied they are with the weight of the women in the community. It's 2025 and a lot of y'all are still stupid enough to think that a man having sex with you means something, that it means that you're desirable, that it means that you're attractive. And because a lot of y'all are so male-centered, even though you lie and say you not, you hold on to extra weight just to keep that butt that you think that you got, right? A lot of y'all have been past thick, right? Nothing about you is thick. But you got a bunch of low vibrational pookies who be lying and telling you what you want to hear all for the sake of having sex with you. And because you're stupid and you believe that a man wanting to have sex with you means that you're desirable and that he actually wants you, because you still haven't figured out in 2025 that there's no correlation between a man having sex with you and a man actually wanting you. You would think you dum-dums would know that by now, but I done seen several of y'all make videos and y'all sitting there talking about, well, they can't care about my weight too much because I still get ends, I still get dudes still smashing and ain't complaining. No, they not complaining because you still giving it up, stupid, right? But it don't mean that they don't like your body. It don't mean that they still ain't telling their homeboys how disgusting they think you look with your clothes off, right? None of that is still not happening just because they sleep with you. The fact of the matter is a lot of y'all can't get to the next step with these men in relationships because they don't like your body. All right, you might be cool, you might be having sex with him, but at the end of the day, he don't picture himself being with nobody who physically look like you. That's why a lot of y'all ain't get no dates. That's the reason why you only get you up late text messages. Like, they don't want to be seen with you in public. They don't want to be associated with you. They don't want people knowing that they mess with somebody who looks like you.
I 100% agree with everything she just said. She is absolutely right. And let's be clear, it's not even just about the men of other races expecting their woman to be fit. These women expect it for themselves. They're hard on themselves. They don't glorify being overweight. They don't call it self-love. They call it what it is, something to fix, something to work on, nothing to celebrate. And that is the difference. White women, Asian women, Latina women, they hold themselves to a standard. More of the white and Asians, but that's neither here nor there. They know when they've gained too much weight, and they don't need TikTok to tell them. They don't need a fat positivity parade to feel good. They look in the mirror, they feel it in their clothes, and they do something about it. Meanwhile, too many Black women are trying to flip the script, like being held accountable is offensive. And you're 35 talking about men still want me. Hello, men will sleep with anything. That doesn't mean they'll stay. That doesn't mean they'll wife you. Like, women provide access to sex. Men have access to marriage. There is a big difference. Men will sleep with porn stars. They will sleep with OnlyFans girls. That does not mean they're going to put a ring on it. Just because you're getting attention doesn't mean you're valued. And quite frankly, a lot of y'all are out here confusing lust with love and then wondering why nobody stays. You cannot eat everything, do nothing, and then shame people for not finding you desirable. This is not fat phobia. This is reality, and it is a sad one. And I know what you guys are going to say next. Well, they have access to Whole Foods. They have access to Trader Joe's. Yes, because they choose to live in neighborhoods where health is prioritized. They buy homes near places on purpose. It is called standards. Meanwhile, y'all are living in food deserts surrounded by corner stores and Popeyes, and then using that as an excuse. If you know your environment is not serving you, then why are you still choosing to live in it? Move, relocate, go somewhere with better food, better schools, better quality of life. I don't understand why that sounds so radical. You'll drop thousands on wigs, nails, lashes, takeout, liquor, and vacations. But the moment someone says move to a better area, suddenly it's oppression and you can't afford it. No, what you can't afford is to keep living in delusion. And what the culture can't afford is to keep pretending that the dysfunction is empowering. It is not working. Can we stop pretending like this is about self-love, like this is about beauty standards, and just the whole truth is hate nonsense? Because the facts, they just do not lie. According to the CDC, 56.9% of non-Hispanic Black women are obese. That is not curvy. That is not thick. That is not plus size and proud. That is a medical crisis, the highest obesity rate of any race and gender group in the country. For comparison, Hispanic women are 43.7%. White women are 39.8%, and Asian women are 17.2%. Let's run that back. Asian women living in the same country, same inflation, same food desert, same social media are at 17.2%, and Black women are sitting at nearly 57%. This is not about lack of access. This is about a lack of accountability. And don't pull the, well, Black people in general card either, because Black men, same community, same struggles, are at 41.1%. Yes, that is still high, but nowhere near what is happening with Black women. So no, this is not a general race issue. This is a Black female culture issue. We built a whole fake lifestyle around ignoring reality and calling it confidence, but the confidence is fake and the consequences are real. Heart disease, diabetes, infertility, cancer. This is not about aesthetics. It is about survival. And to really drive that home, if you guys remember a few months ago when they unveiled that Black woman statue in Times Square, it was like this huge 12-foot statue of this big fat Black woman, and the internet exploded. People called it racist. They called it degrading. People said it was disrespectful to Black women. But let's be real. It wasn't offensive because it was inaccurate. It was offensive because it was painfully accurate. It wasn't a fantasy. It was a mirror, a brutal, unfiltered, larger-than-life reflection of the exact crisis that we're in. That statue didn't lie. It exposed the lie. It represented what far too many Black women have become: obese, unapologetic, and delusional about the damage. And what's even more dangerous than the obesity itself is the obsession with defending it, protecting, and celebrating it. No other group of women is out here glorifying dysfunction like this. None. And if you really think that doesn't affect how we're seen, how we're treated, how we raise our children, how we experience health, love, and family, then you're just in denial. You're a part of the problem. This is not a game. This is not hate. This is a wake-up call, because the behavior is disgusting. The logic is absolutely crazy. And quite frankly, the community is paying the price per usual. We got to do better, guys. All right, guys, if you've ever seen the movie Soul Food, this is like a staple in most Black homes, then you know exactly where I'm going with this. The whole movie centers around this family eating greasy, heavy, unhealthy food every Sunday, and then Big Mama, the matriarch of the family, she ends up needing to get her leg amputated because of diabetes. But she refuses the surgery and she dies. I'm sorry, spoiler alert, she dies. And what does the family do after she dies? They keep eating the same food that literally just killed her. They continued on with the tradition instead of learning from what just happened to their big mom. And that right there is the sickness in our community. We see the damage, we live the consequences, and instead of changing, we defend the dysfunction. The food, the mindset, the lack of discipline, and now it's like we can't control it. It's generational addiction disguised as tradition, and it is destroying us. Tradition should be what heals us and not what kills us. Now, if you made it this far in the episode, thank you. I appreciate you more than you know. This episode is not about shaming Black women. It's about holding up a mirror, because correction is not hate. Accountability is not judgment. People aren't attacking you. Some of us actually care and want to see you do better. But this whole mindset that you can't tell me nothing, it is not helping. Not you, not your children, not your community, and it has to stop. I am Carmen, Jaycee. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, hit the super thanks or the super chat, and I'll be reading those in the next video. All right, guys, as promised, I told you guys I was going to read some of you guys' super thanks. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the first person that left a super thanks, I'm not doing this in any particular order, is Jimmy Venice. And he says, changing the world by the content of your character, not the color of your skin. One subscriber at a time. I appreciate you so much, Jimmy Venice. This is awesome. And you know what? I'm trying to do my part. I wish more people would stand up for what's right and not be so infatuated with the color of their skin, whether it's white or Black. All right, the next comment, John Charisner. I don't know if I said that right. Do not kill me. He just says thanks. So thank you, John. I appreciate you for watching the show. Bob Paul says, thanks, go Carmen. Keep stating facts, the truth. Our conservative women are both intelligent and attractive. Yes, Bob Paul, I thank you for watching the show. I appreciate you for the super thanks. And I think I have one more. No, actually I have two. I have an honorable mention. Logan Baskin says, thanks. Thank you, Logan, for supporting the show. And then JJ says thanks as well. JJ always gives to the show. So I just wanted to do a special shout out to JJ. JJ, thank you. I appreciate you. And I love all of you guys. If you guys want to support the show, go ahead and hit the super thanks or the super chat. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.
Conscious culture, we awaken and we learn. Fire in our spirits, watch the system as it burns. Question every lesson, let the real truth return. We break the mold, and now it's our turn.